All right. Hello, everyone. I am so excited for this conversation with one of my favorite students. Her name is Maritza. Maritza, how are you?
I'm so happy, Teacher Tiffany. I'm so excited to be with you. Thank you so much for having me today. This is a great experience for me because as a English learner, you are like a celebrity.
Oh,
I admire you not only because of your work, but because of your values and
oh,
because you have built a beautiful community of English
oh.
learners.
Wow, Maritza, thank you so much. That really touched my heart. I really appreciate that. Well,
You're
Maritza,
welcome.
oh, well, Maritza, I would like those listening. Now, I know you well. You're in many of my classes, so I see you often. But Maritza, would you mind introducing yourself for those listening and watching? Where are you from? Maybe about your family, your hobbies, anything else that you'd like to share?
Of course, Teacher Tiffany. I am Maritza. I am from Peru
Hmm.
and live in the United States. I am a motivated English student.
I love it.
Yeah, I am a proud mom of a toddler and a 10 years old kid.
Hmm.
I am Bachelor of Business Administration. I
Hmm.
have worked many years as a customer service manager
Hmm.
in my country. And now I'm working on my own business. I
Amazing.
am an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
I have my online store. What else? What I love to do the most is researching about personal growth and good parenting. And also, I share my experience on social media, on Instagram, about the pride of being a mom.
Wow. Maritza, I want to clap. I mean, you've improved so much. I'm so impressed
Oh,
with you. It's amazing.
thank you so much. It
Yes.
has been a wonderful journey. I am in the process. I know that I should improve a lot, but
Mm.
I am in. And
Yes.
this really love.
I love
I
it.
really love it.
Oh man, I'm so proud of you. And you just spoke with such confidence and you were smiling. I love it. I love it. Okay. Somebody said you told us that you have your own business, you have children, and that you really are enjoying your journey as you're studying English and being in our community. And we're going to get into that a little bit more about the community. But I wanted to ask you this question, Maritza. I know you live in America, but
Yes.
when did your journey with English first start? Even before you came to the academy, when did you start studying English and why? I know you speak Spanish fluently, so what made you choose English and when?
I started studying English when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
My mom recommended me to study English at that time, so I studied.
Mm-hmm.
I studied for about 1 year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that was my first experience. And 5 years later, I
Mm-hmm.
decided to resume my English studies because, if you don't practice it, you lose the language.
Yeah.
So that was my second opportunity, and I studied for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I couldn't practice it because in Peru we speak Spanish, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the opportunity to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got grammar rules and all of the knowledge, but I felt that I couldn't express my feelings or thoughts the
Mm-hmm.
way I do it with my mother tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years ago, when I came to the USA, I decided to study again.
Mm-hmm.
So I was practicing by my own, watching some videos and um, every content in English.
Mm-hmm.
However, I felt that I wasn't following a concise plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At that moment, I saw your video on YouTube and I said to myself, Maritza, this is what you are looking for.
Wow.
I needed to follow steps
Yeah.
and I need to have a proven method
Yeah.
of because you can study the language. Maybe you are basic, you have basic knowledge, and it's
Mm-hmm.
easy to pass to the intermediate or
Yeah.
advanced. But when you are there, it's difficult to start speaking.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was my case.
Mm.
And when I saw your video, I could see the way you transmit the motivation. That was very important, and also
Mm.
the values, because you are a leader, and
Oh, thank
I
you.
needed to follow someone who is leader, and that is you.
Wow. I'm beaming. For those not watching, if you're listening, I'm beaming, like I'm smiling from ear to ear. I'm so proud of you. Yes, you expressed that so eloquently. Like you really clearly broke down exactly how you started and how you've gotten to this point in your journey right now. And yes, one of my main goals, as you know, Maritza, is to
Yeah.
really motivate you all because you all are already amazing. You guys are amazing learning another language. My job is to just help you all bring that out. So I'm very happy to see the progress you've made, and I look forward to even more progress as you continue moving forward. So that's good. Okay, now let me ask you this because I'm seeing the smile on your face. I'm listening to you speak eloquently. However, I want to know what is the hardest thing about studying English? And I'm asking this question because someone listening or someone watching, they're being inspired by you, right? And they're probably wondering, does she struggle at all? Does she have any difficulties? What is your challenge right now when it comes to studying English?
My first challenge, and I believe that almost now,
Mhm.
the hardest thing about getting a language is to speak,
Yeah,
to speak the language.
yeah,
Because when you use a new language, you are
mhm.
afraid of to sound like a person who is not smart enough,
Yeah, yeah,
and we don't wanna make mistakes.
yeah.
That's our biggest issue.
Hmm.
Um, it's something that I was working on. I'm still working on it.
Hmm.
Now I know that I'm making mistakes, but I'm trying to embrace those mistakes as
Good,
a way of learning, as
good.
a way of experience, as an opportunity. And that's something I learned from our community,
Yes,
from our sisters and brothers, because we are as a family.
yes.
And it didn't happen at the first time or the first month, the second month. No, it takes time.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of time. And as much as you face
Hmm.
those fears,
Hmm.
you can improve. You can
Amazing.
get the skill.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love it. Yes.
Yeah,
So true. And I'm so glad that you said it didn't happen immediately because I know
no,
when you first joined our family, and again, for those watching or listening, when you enter the academy, you literally become a part of a family. Like we really are a family, people from all over the world. So Maritza is a very important member of our family. But Maritza, I like that you said it didn't happen on day one, didn't happen the first month or the second month, because it really is a change of thinking, a mindset change. And that's something, honestly, that I try to help every English learner I come in contact realize, like, hey, you're going to make mistakes. It's totally okay.
yeah,
But many times prior to coming to our family or prior to meeting me as an English teacher, students have this idea, oh, don't make mistakes. Mistakes are horrible. So I'm glad that you realized, hey, embrace your mistakes. They'll help you go to the next level. So I'm happy to hear that. That's really encouraging to me as a teacher to keep going
yeah.
on. I'm happy.
Let me add something about that, about this, about mistakes.
Yes.
This this practice not only helped me to get the skill for speaking, but also this taught me something about my life experience as a mom,
Mm,
about
mm,
how I see mistakes, not only my mistakes, but my children's mistakes.
yes.
And I try to transmit that to my kids
I
also.
love that.
And I'm so grateful for that, because I think that's a very, very important thing in our life, to embrace our mistakes.
I love that. Okay. I actually want to ask you, for those watching and listening, people around the world will see this. What is your website and what is your Instagram? Because I want people to be inspired by you. What is your Instagram, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, of course. My Instagram account is proudmom
Yes.
_
Yes.
MR.
Okay. Proud
And
mom. Oh,
yeah.
yes. Proud mom _ MR. I want you guys, those watching and those listening, please support Maritza. Maritza, you're doing this all in English, right?
Yes.
Listen, Maritza is doing this all in English. Like, this is the confidence she has now. So again, proud, PROUD, mom, MOM _ MR. Please follow her on Instagram, guys. I just wanted to make sure we said that, Maritza, because I am proud of what you're doing and I want everyone to support you.
Thanks so much, Teacher Tiffany. And my website is proudmom.us.
Proudmom.us. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. I'll try to repeat that again at the end. You know how we talk about the summary, so I'll make sure to repeat that at the end as well. So let me ask you this, of course. What do you enjoy the most? We talked about your challenge, but what do you enjoy the most about studying English?
What I enjoy the most is being able to communicate with people around the world, people with different cultures, different mindsets. I learn a lot from them. That's a big opportunity. And also, I'm trying to learn different accents. Because that is the second hard thing for me to understand different accents. One good thing from the academy or from the course Speak English Like a Native is that there are people from all around the world.
Yes.
And you hear different accents.
Yes.
It's okay because English is not just American accent.
Exactly.
If you want to communicate, if you want to study or make business with people around the world, you should understand them. So that's something I'm working on because I can understand American accent. Well, there are some words that I don't know, but I can understand American accent. But it's more difficult for me to understand different other accents.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Maritza. That is also one thing that I am very happy that you all are realizing, because even in America, there are so many different accents, right? It's not just what you see on the news from the newscasters speaking. Depending on the part of America that you visit or live in, we sound different. And I like that you said, because you're a part of this community now, it's helping you understand different accents, which is actually going to help you even more. I know you're living in America, but you might not realize just yet, but it's also helping your ear recognize different American accents as well. It's kind of like you're becoming more open-minded. So that's great. I'm glad to hear that.
And about that, let me tell you an experience.
Please do.
I work with a supplier. They are from, I won't mention the country.
Okay.
But I couldn't understand his accent. And I had two options. Stop working with them or try to do my best to understand them. So I said to myself, this is a challenge for you and you can do it. Yes. So the night before the meeting I was going to have with them,
yes,
I was listening his audio.
Good.
10 times.
Good.
Trying to understand his accent.
Good.
Now I can understand them better. Sometimes I cannot, but I express that, and they share their screen and write down the idea they want to express. Good. But that's not a limitation to interact. So the key is to try to do our best, and that's the way we can improve.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love it. I like that you made an effort. And I'm sure they felt that as well. Like, okay, Maritza is trying to understand us. And they wanted to show that they wanted to help you understand. That's great. I want to bring out one point. So Maritza mentioned, for those listening and watching, Maritza mentioned that she is in the Speak English Like a Native membership. They have two main programs in my academy. And something that Maritza just did is something that native English speakers do all the time in conversations. Maritza naturally said, "Hey, Tiffani, let me tell you an experience that happened related to what we were talking about, right? In the program, I explained to you all the fundamentals of English conversations. And one thing is personal experience. So I wanted to again applaud you for putting into practice what you've been learning. And just for those watching and listening, Maritza is so comfortable because she's learning how to actually have natural conversations and she's getting more confident. So again, great job. I feel like this whole meeting, this whole interview is just going to be me congratulating you on a great job.
You mentioned something very important, your methodology about how to express our ideas with examples of our experience on others' opinions.
Yes.
I am not a talkative person. I'm not a talkative person. So when you taught us that formula, that steps, I use that for my personal life because yeah, because sometimes I say yes, okay, that's it. When it's about work, I like to talk a lot, but in my personal life, I don't speak too much. But this helps me, and I needed to do it. I needed to speak because there's no way if we don't speak, if we don't use the language, there's no way.
Yeah, very good point. Okay, so you mentioned that you are actually applying some of the methodology to your personal life, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Could you let us know maybe 1 to 3 things in which ways your life has changed after being able to speak English from studying in the program, being a part of the family? How has your life changed?
My life has changed tremendously. When I came to the US, one of my first goals was to being able to work here using the language. So I was afraid to apply for a position. And well, I decided to do it by myself, start my own business, and I did it all in English.
Wow.
I have meetings in English. I am creating content for my website in English. I review the description of the products. I make my listings in English.
Wow.
And also now I have a team, a new team, and everybody speaks English. I am the manager of the team, and I am able to do it in English. And I think that something that was key is stop thinking in the language and start thinking about the usage of the language.
Yes.
In that way, your brain is not thinking about the mistakes or about grammar.
Yes.
It's just using it to express what you want to say.
Yes. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So you have a team now. They all are English speakers. You are the manager, someone who is learning English and able to express herself well now. What is your dream now? Because I feel like you're living in a dream. Like this is an amazing situation. But do you have another dream regarding English?
Of course, of course. I want to, well, I consider myself a passionate person, very passionate. And when I feel a lot of emotions when I speak English, but I want to learn more vocabulary so I can express in a better way my ideas. So as I told you before, I am in the process. Maybe I don't know if I am in 40%, 50%, but I want to achieve maybe the 90% of this process so I can express better. I want to use my speech to transform others' life. Because when we serve, we grow.
Yes.
And to do that, I need to express better my ideas. I am working on that. And
Yeah.
social media, it's a very great tool to do that.
Mhm.
I try to express how I feel as a woman, as a mom, and how I'm facing my fears.
Mhm.
Because I know that the word is so important, our speech is so important to transform more lives.
I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay. So you're living a dream and you have a bigger dream, and every day you're working towards achieving and finally realizing that dream. If you were to give the person listening to this conversation or watching this conversation, if you were to give that individual a piece of advice, something that you want them to remember, they're looking at you, they're listening to you, and they're inspired, like, I want to be like Maritza. She is really speaking with confidence. What would you tell that individual? The most important thing they can remember as an English learner?
I think two advices.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is to be consistent,
Mm,
to use the language every single day,
mm,
and also look for something that challenges you.
yeah.
For
Yeah.
example, the first time I had to upload my video and send that video to our Telegram group, I
Yeah.
was so nervous and
Yeah.
embarrassed to do that. But when was the video number 20 maybe, I
Mm-hmm.
was okay. I was
Yes.
better. But I said to myself, no, I need to challenge myself. What is my next
Yes.
step? So at that moment, I started creating content in English on social media where many people who speaks English, who are native speakers, can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay if I make mistake because there's nothing wrong
Exactly.
with that. It's your
Exactly.
language. That's it. If people want to see you, it's okay. If not, it's
Yes.
okay as well. So that was my second step, and now I am here. And now I feel so excited when I need to create a video in English. Well, we should do it every single day. It
Yes.
doesn't work if we study maybe one day many hours and we don't study or we don't practice the next following 2 days.
Yes.
It doesn't work like that. We should practice every single day so our brains get used to the language. Maybe
Yes.
you don't have time. You cannot sit on your desk to study English 1 hour, 2 hours, but maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or you should be very intelligent to find the way. Because I remember once I told you, Teacher Tiffani, I cannot be seated to study English because I have my baby. So what I did was start teaching English to my baby. And now
Yes.
my baby speaks, or well, knows English and Spanish.
Good.
And that was my opportunity to practice this language. That's the first step, to be consistent.
Yeah.
And my second step is to use the language in 4 ways.
Mm.
Well, everybody, or I think most of us, learn get the language by reading and listening.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't focus so much on speaking
Mm.
and writing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Speaking and writing is the way to use the knowledge we
Yeah.
get.
Yes.
If we don't use it, we lose that knowledge. We should do
Yeah.
it the fourth. We
Mm-hmm.
cannot skip one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something it took me a long time to understand because I used to read and listen,
Yeah.
but I didn't have enough time to speak and write.
Yeah.
So I consider that that must be our steps to improve our English skills.
Amazing. If I was testing you, I'd give you an A plus. Very good.
Oh, thank you, Teacher Tiffany.
Very good. Very good. Okay, I have one last question for you. You've done so well. The last question is, Maritza, do you have any questions for me?
Of course. And I was thinking, before the interview, I was thinking the same question you asked me.
Which one?
Yeah. The question was, what is, you have accomplished many things. You are an admired person because of your values and your personality. You are a very positive girl. You are amazing.
Thank
But
you.
what is your biggest dream now? What do you want to achieve?
That's a great question. So my biggest dream right now, so since I'm seeing our family and how not just you, Maritza, so many other members of our family, their lives are being transformed because of what's happening in the academy. I'm realizing that as an English teacher, there are certain things that are not just about teaching English. It's about inspiring students, motivating them. My dream right now is to train other ESL teachers to use the exact same methodology that I'm using. So not just the 5 W's or the 5 steps we have in the Speak English Like a Native program, but how to truly inspire students, how to help English learners stop focusing on mistakes, and really training English teachers to help students go to the next level. So that dream requires me to have to start another online school for teachers. So I'll still have you all, but that's what I'm in the process of doing right now, actually. I really want to train other teachers. And one of the main reasons is because when I lived in South Korea, I worked with other Koreans. They were also English teachers, but they weren't able to teach intermediate and advanced English learners. They were only able to do the beginner levels. And I spoke with them, and a lot of them were still close. And they said, we just don't know how to take them to the next level, Tiff. And I realized teachers, English teachers, for example, in Peru, in Korea, in Japan, in these countries, in various countries around the world, they're amazing as well. I want to give them the tools they need. They only need the tools,
Awesome.
the techniques that I've learned and that I've developed. I want to put the tools in their hands. So I feel like it will affect many more people if I can train the teachers and they can start spreading it out. So that's my dream. That would really make me happy.
That will be a game changer. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, because there's a traditional method to learn the language, and that's the problem, that it's very traditional. We learn a lot,
Yes,
but we cannot express
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
And you did it a wonderful job with us.
Thank you.
I know everybody loves you,
Oh.
loves the program, the methodology, the course. I really love to speak English like a native. I learn a lot from the academy, but I love more speak English like a native because I don't know, it was something that helped me to move forward.
Yeah.
I am in the process, and I'm so motivated to continue.
I'm so happy to hear that. Just for clarification for those watching and listening, so there are 2 main programs, and Maritza has been in both. One is Daily English Lessons Membership, a program that I've set up to help you go to the intermediate level and from intermediate to the advanced. But the Speak English Like a Native program, which Maritza just referred to, is the program that's for students that are upper intermediate or advanced, and they really want to start sounding like a native English speaker. And just to also break this down, when I say speak English like a native, it doesn't mean that every aspect of your accent will be the same as a native speaker or every word that you use will be exactly the same. No, it's really about helping you organize your thoughts like a native English speaker, helping you be confident in expressing your ideas. That's when that's when it happens. So I'm so glad you're enjoying the program. I'm a little biased because I created it, but I love it too. But I honestly love seeing the transformations. Like, you all are amazing, and it makes me very happy to see you all smile and to be more confident in yourselves. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Teacher Tiffani. We love you.
Oh, I love you all too. I love you all too. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, Maritza. I can't wait for you to see it. when it goes live. And I know the people that are watching and listening also enjoyed it. Before we end, once again, as promised, I want you all to please go to Maritza's website, proudmom.us. And also her Instagram, proudmom_MR. Please follow her. Please support
Thank you
her.
so much.
Of course. Maritza, I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you.
Me too. Thank you for your time as well. Have a great day.
You too, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.